Каток. Ладно. Все. Уходить с этой загрузки. Ого. Еще бы не пасть в этот лифт.
Exploring abandoned buildings can be a thrilling dive into forgotten histories, but when you venture into these desolate spaces alone, the echoes of the past can quickly turn into something far more sinister. Meet Mike, creator of the YouTube channel Mike Webster. He explores abandoned places, uncovering forgotten corners where time stands still. His fearless approach captivates viewers, until one day, he learns just how unsettling these solo adventures can be. On this day, Mike enters a vast abandoned building, camera in hand. The heavy silence, broken only by his footsteps, sets a tense tone for what's to come.
I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf.
As he ventured deeper, the air grew heavy. A sudden scare made him jump. He spotted what looked like fangs. His camera light flickered out, and flies buzzed around him. Shaken, he nearly dropped his gear. Still, he pushed on, describing the growing unease. More swarming flies and distant noises he called Vasek, breaking things. The building loomed above him, stretching toward the roof, promising even more unknown ahead.
Вы знаете, сегодня я один, но так стрёмно здесь ходить, находиться вообще. Мало ли тут бродят всякие, тут он пивасик, значит, распивают. Вау. Почти на самой крыше. Сейчас иду на самую крышу, надеюсь, там будут какие-нибудь споты. Сейчас для вас что-нибудь придумаю. Голубь, ты меня напугал.
Another jolt of fear hit as he called out, Golub, reacting to something unseen. Pushing forward, he passed crumbling walls marked with graffiti, Apollo 69, adding to the mystery. When he tried a small jump, his hands shook uncontrollably, showing just how shaken he was. Moving past a skating rink and a fragile fence, he stayed on edge, aware that danger could be anywhere.
Думал сделать царапку, ну сначала прыгнуть, естественно, потом сделать царапку, но я даже не допрыгнул. Царапкой тем более не допрыгнул. Как здесь творится? Хочу в эту сторону. Ото льда руки отшкарабывал. Кровушка. Надеюсь, YouTube не забанят за эту кровь. Каток. Ладно. Все. Уходить с этой загрузки. Ого. Еще бы не пасть в этот лифт.
His journey became a perilous navigation as he warned himself not to fall into an open elevator shaft, a constant threat in such a decaying structure. The repeated expletives throughout his exploration underscored the extreme stress and fear he was experiencing, emphasizing the real and immediate dangers he faced alone in the vast abandoned space. Though he claimed to be alone, Mike began calling out names, Golub and Vasek, adding a chilling layer of mystery. It left viewers questioning whether he was truly by himself or something unseen was at play. The exploration ended on a somber note, with Mike reflecting on a good world gone bad. His journey revealed the isolation and mental strain of such places, while the biggest questions lingered. What scared him, and who were Golub and Vasek? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Exploring abandoned buildings alone can be a thrilling adventure, but what happens when you find yourself in a place still under watchful eyes, with more than just ghosts lurking in the shadows? Meet Jared Coker of Jared Coker Urbex, known for exploring abandoned sites, from hospitals to industrial ruins, with a mix of stealth and raw storytelling. But a mission in Louisville would push him to his limits. Before sunrise, Jared arrived at a massive abandoned government building, once a hospital from 1924, later closed in 2017 due to decay and mold. With active security cameras watching, he geared up with his GoPro, knowing this high-risk entry would require speed, precision, and total focus.
Now the reason I need the cover of darkness to kick this off is because you see those blue flashing things over there? Those are like straight up security cameras. Oftentimes security cameras are like a big bluff, but those are literally set up just for the sole purpose of watching this place. So I'm hoping the darkness will help me a little bit, but no guarantees. This is crazy risky. I'm gonna put on a GoPro because getting in is gonna be like serious business. I need like all my limbs, all my hands, so I can run, jump.
After climbing through a second-story window, Jared slipped inside before dawn and waited nearly 30 minutes to be sure he hadn't been seen, reflecting on how difficult and injury-filled this trip had been. Just as he moved on, two figures appeared outside. Not police, but scrappers with a power saw, tearing apart an AC unit near his entry. The threat of being caught forced him to leave his spot and push deeper into the building.
Oh my god. They're scrappers. They had like a big power saw thing. They were cutting into that like AC unit, whatever the metal thing I used to jump up to the window was. They're scrappers.
The former hospital was a maze of corridors, far from a simple office layout. Shaken and uneasy, Jared moved through untouched rooms with ornate wooden walls, searching for a catwalk. Along the way, he even spotted a raccoon reclaiming the space. After finding the catwalk and checking his window, he avoided cameras and explored a side building, where he noticed strange pamphlets in a foreign language. Deciding it was safer, he returned to the main building to head for the first floor, still tense and on edge, hoping to avoid the scrappers.
I gotta remember this corridor here on the second floor to get back to that window. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot left in here, I can already tell. Sorry, I'm like shaking right now, both out of like just fear and just how freezing cold it is right now. So now if I keep going far enough in this direction, I'm eventually actually gonna get to like a catwalk in between two different buildings. We're just gonna see classic office settings around here. Wow, this place looks somewhat untouched, doesn't it? I said I was gonna go down below to the first and see how many options I have down there, so let's do that. Whoa, look at all this. It's like another big open conference room looking area. I just really want to find that lobby though. I gotta be getting close. If I just keep trending in this general direction, I'll get there. Every now and then some of these offices look to be like pretty untouched, I'm not gonna lie. I'm never gonna have enough time or safety here to look at all of them, but it's kind of insane how much is still left here.
Jared reached a Wishal storage room with movable shelves, then the lobby, surprisingly well preserved. He wrapped up by heading to the upper floors, planning to reach the top before exiting. On the 7th floor, he noted a smokestack and passed hospital remnants like oxygen ports and bed equipment. Spotting another catwalk leading to an active building, he realized how risky the site truly was. With close calls piling up, he made a quick exit, but after jumping the fence, a pickup truck sped up beside him. The driver questioned him in a tense exchange, but Jared played it off and escaped, shaken by how close it all came.
See what's on floor number 5. Different looking format here. Now we have brick walls. Why is that pink and yellow? Those are probably ink cartridges. That's what that is. From these printers, I guess. Huh. What is all this? This might have been left over from the hospital days. Look, that's like what a backboard for some hospital beds would have been like. There's like oxygen there. What's really weird is you can see right below me here, there's actually another catwalk going over to what I believe is still like an active building. Unless that's abandoned too. What is that? That's gonna be like 2 levels below us, I think. I'm gonna go try to find that. Second I jumped over that fence again, bang, big pickup just speeds up and pulls up next to me. I don't know who was bluffing who, but I definitely played dumb there. I don't know who he even was, if he was like security or like just an off-duty cop, but I don't even know what to say. Like,
Though Jared escaped, the driver's identity and intent remains unknown. Security, off-duty cop, or something worse? What do you think about this? Comment below. The encounter confirmed the cameras were active, turning the exploration into a real close call. One thing's certain, this wasn't just another Urbex trip, and Jared will think twice before attempting something like it again. Meet the creator behind the YouTube channel Paranormal. Through his videos, he documents the haunting beauty of decaying and forgotten locations, preserving their history one exploration at a time. From crumbling hospitals to industrial ruins, his journeys offer a glimpse into a world that time has left behind. But on this particular night, he and his friend James would discover that some places aren't as abandoned as they seem, and the greatest danger isn't always the building itself. Their destination was the old base hospital at the Chanute Air Force Base in Illinois, a massive 6-story structure with a dark history.
Tonight, we are at the Chanute Air Force Base located in Rantoul, Illinois. Guys, this place is insane. It is 6 stories tall. It is huge. I think it sits on 2,500 acres, and there are so many different buildings located on the property, but the building we are on tonight is the base hospital, guys. It has treated a whole bunch of illnesses from people who have been sick and a lot of injuries that happened on the field.
As they began, they recounted the base's storied past, which included training over 250,000 troops, and more recently, a massive fire that had ravaged a section of the very building they were about to enter.
So about 2 weeks ago, actually, there was almost 5 or 6, maybe even 7 counties had to respond to the fire in this building alone. It burned up. You see the flames kissed up, and we'll cover that a little bit on the video. There was supposedly teens were kind of messing around. There's a bunch of mattresses stacked up, and they're not really exactly sure how the fire started, but they believe it started in that room, which is towards the front of the building. So it was easy for them to treat the fire, and I know it took almost 3, 4, 5 hours maybe to put the flames out fully.
I believe it was estimated that this place trained over 250,000 troops.
That's right.
I believe there's documentation on that as well, and we'll see if we can find the source for you guys, but it was a crazy amount of troops, and unfortunately there was also a lot of fatalities.
The knowledge that the fire was likely started by trespassers just weeks prior added a layer of unease, setting a grim tone for the exploration ahead. Their exploration began in the building's decaying underbelly, a dark and flooded basement filled with the smell of mold and decay. They navigated through rooms with peeling paint and debris-littered floors, discovering old machinery and rusted electrical panels left to rot in the dampness. The atmosphere was heavy and oppressive, a perfect example of urban decay, but so far it was nothing they hadn't seen before. They cautiously made their way through the labyrinthine corridors, documenting the slow collapse of the once bustling facility. Deeper in the basement, they stumbled upon unsettling evidence that they were not the first to walk these halls in a long time.
You got a liquor, 99 proof.
Oh, you found
So
some drugs and alcohol?
Dude, 99, yeah, liquor. So that's proof of people that have been down here screwing around, having a good time. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
This is pretty easy to get into, and it's right here. So you had mentioned, a concern with urban exploring is homeless people or squatters and that kind of thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's a big one.
This is obviously somebody's spot.
Oh, dude!
There's a raincoat, and so this is somebody's hangout spot,
Yeah. I mean, this would be a good spot to have, though. It's really lucky,
It's
too.
dry here, but the basement, it's easy to get in and out, I guess.
They found liquor bottles and then a makeshift living space, complete with a raincoat and a pile of socks. It was clearly a squatter's den, a hidden refuge from the outside world. This discovery immediately shifted the nature of their exploration. They were no longer just in an abandoned building, but potentially in someone else's territory. The realization sent a new kind of chill through them, one that had nothing to do with the paranormal. As they moved to the upper floors, the tension was palpable. Every shadow seemed to move, and every sound echoed with potential threat. They found the elevator shaft pried open open and revealing a pit of perfectly still, black water that seemed to swallow the light from their flashlights. It was a terrifying sight, a dark abyss in the heart of the hospital. They continued on, exploring patient rooms and long, empty hallways, the evidence of the recent fire becoming more apparent with charred walls and the lingering smell of smoke. Just as they were documenting the decay of a large, open room, a sudden, unmistakable sound cut through the silence. A phone notification.
Okay, I haven't heard.
Yo, somebody else is in here. Dude, that got me nervous.
Do you think that was somebody inside, or do you think that was
There was somebody inside. I heard the phone go off. We saw the bike, and I heard the phone go off. Like a text. Be careful. If that door opens, dude, we need to fucking fight or something.
Yeah, that's all good.
Alright. Yeah, there's somebody in here. Yeah, we're in the burn part of the building now. This is where a lot of the fire damage occurred. We do got to be quiet. Somebody's here. So we're going to continue exploring. And if shit goes sideways, we should be okay. But yeah, no, there's somebody here.
It was sharp, clear, and terrifyingly close. They froze, immediately realizing its implication. Someone else was inside the building with them, right at that moment. The discovery of a recently left bicycle near one of the entrances suddenly clicked into place. They were not alone, and the owner of the squatter's den was likely nearby. Despite the clear danger, they pressed on, but now with extreme caution, speaking only in whispers. They ventured into the burn zone, a section of the hospital completely blackened by the fire. The floors were unstable, the ceilings were charred, and the air was thick with ash. The presence of another person, combined with the structural instability, created an atmosphere of pure dread. They were trespassing on two fronts, on abandoned property and on the hidden home of a stranger. Although they never came face to face with the other person, the encounter left a chilling mark. Who was hiding in the shadows of the old hospital? Were they just another explorer, or a squatter who might have reacted violently to their presence? The structural decay of a building is a predictable threat, but the intentions of a stranger hiding in the dark are a terrifying unknown. Fortunately, their caution kept them safe, but it's a chilling reminder that when you step to the ruins of the past, you may not be the only one there. Venturing into the decaying halls of an abandoned building is one thing, but what happens when the structure itself seems to refuse to let you leave? Tonight, we examine the terrifying ordeal of an urban explorer who got lost deep within a sprawling maze-like sanitarium. Meet the creator behind the YouTube channel Flink Experience. Through his camera, he captures the haunting decay of forgotten places, taking his audience on journeys into structures left behind by time. From sprawling hospitals to industrial ruins, his videos reveal the silent stories etched into their crumbling walls. However, one exploration would turn into a genuine struggle for survival, as the building he entered proved to be a labyrinth he couldn't easily escape. The investigation begins as he descends into the deepest part of the structure, a sub-basement that immediately feels claustrophobic and oppressive. Armed with his camera and a flashlight, he crawls through tight spaces, determined to see what secrets lie in the building's foundation.
At least I'm using my mask. Ew, it's wet. Sliding against my Dexter shirt and make it wet. Oh. Way to a machine room. Let's go there.
He soon emerges into a vast machine room, the scale of which is both impressive and daunting. The place seems to stretch on endlessly, a dark and complex network of corridors and machinery.
Reminds me of the same kind of machine room I saw in that big nursing home that I did video of. Whoa. This place just keeps going and going. I'm not fitting there. What's here?
As he ventures further, a palpable sense of unease begins to grow. The basement becomes increasingly creepy, with rusted equipment and an overwhelming silence that seems to press in from all sides. The real terror begins when he decides he's seen enough and tries to leave, only to realize he has no idea which way he came from.
No, this project, how to get out of here. Urban exploration is such a exercise at the same time. Let's move on. There's some that kind of stuff thing, and let me see if I can get out of here. I don't know. There's outdoor. Let me see if I can get out. But how?
Every turn looks the same, and the path that led him in has seemingly vanished. Panic slowly gives way to desperation as he finds himself wandering in circles, his initial confidence replaced by a growing fear.
Well, of course we have to go. Stop blinking! I have to change this battery. Getting out of here turned to be more complicated than I thought. Freaking escape from this basement. Never going to get home. Stop blinking, you bastard! Old exercise things. This is a new problem to me. I don't know how to get out of the abandoned place. Maybe this guy just make this as a joke to me. I came from here, going in circles. So I can't go from the main door, but I somehow remember that I came from here. Or do I go round and round again? Not how, but these things too. Every one of these things.
The endless corridors of the sanitarium have become a maze, and he is trapped at its center. His exploration has morphed from a documentation of decay into a frantic, real-time escape attempt, with the building itself as his silent captor. In his desperate search for an exit, he stumbles into parts of the building he never intended to see. He accidentally finds his way into a massive, empty swimming pool hall, a surreal discovery that only highlights how vast and disorienting the structure truly is.
Well, okay. That's nice to see this place too. Ta-da! I found this place by getting lost. Now I accidentally found my way into the another structure, the outside structure. Seriously, I'm gonna break a window soon.
The thrill of discovery is gone, replaced by the single-minded goal of getting out. He even considers breaking a window, a clear sign of his mounting desperation. Just as his hope begins to fade, he recognizes a familiar landmark, a distillery room he had passed through earlier. This small moment of recognition is the lifeline he needs, a thread he can follow back through the confusing maze.
I don't know. I don't think this is way out. These doors. The room seems familiar. I think this was the cellar where I was before. Yes, I see this one, yes. But where did I came from? Okay, okay. I think I came from somewhere here.
With a renewed sense of direction, he painstakingly retraces his steps, his relief palpable with every correct turn that brings him closer to the exit. He eventually makes it out, but the experience leaves a lasting mark. The footage is a raw and unsettling look at how quickly an exploration can turn into a nightmare. It raises a terrifying question. What if he hadn't found that familiar room? How long could he have been lost there? Sometimes the most terrifying entity in an abandoned place isn't a ghost, but the building itself. His sharp instincts and a stroke of luck ensured his escape, but it's certain he'll never view an exit the same way again. That's it for this video. Make sure to subscribe and let us know your thoughts about these encounters in the comments below.